Right, in our last video, we had talked about how to graph and shade linear inequalities. Again, something that typically is taught in Algebra 1, so it's a very quick review. But we'll go ahead and do 2 examples just to hopefully clear up any misunderstandings we may have. So I'm going to go ahead and graph my first line. I'm going to start at 1. I'm going to go up 5 and over 3 to the right. And it's not underlined, so I want to dash that line. Now I'm not done because I have to do the whole shading portion. So I'm going to put my pencil on my line, anywhere. Greater means to raise or go higher, so greater means up. And then we're just going to start a little fire, but instead of shading, we're going to go ahead and just draw a shape. So I'm just going to draw some triangles. I'm just going to draw all those triangles right down my line, knowing that that's the side that I would shade. But I'm not done with the problem yet, so I don't want to shade just yet. Use a different color here for my second line. We're going to go ahead and graph -3. We're going to go down 1 and right 3. It is going to be a solid line this time because it's underlined. And again, put your pencil on your line. Greater than means up. So we're going to go up a little and we're going to draw a shape, maybe circles this time. Going to draw all those circles right down my line. So you're going to look for the section of the picture that has both shapes in it, and it's going to be this guy right up here. So that is where all your solutions will lie. And what that means is if you're inside this shaded region, you are making both inequalities happy. And that's our goal. We want to make everybody happy. So that's why it has to have both shapes. All right, we're going to go ahead and do one more. This time I'm going to graph 4x plus 1. Go to 1, go up 4, right 1. There's going to be a dash line. And then pencil on it somewhere. Less than means lower, so I'm going to draw some circles on this side of my line. We want to be under the dash line. And then we want to graph x minus 2. Here's -2. We're going to go up 1, right 1, and we're going to do a solid line this time. All right, if we put our pencil on that line, greater than means raise or higher, so raise your pencil a little bit and draw a different shape. Just copy that shape all the way down your line. And then you'll notice that it's this region in here that has both stars and circles in it. So that is where all my solutions would lie. So I want to go ahead and tackle 2 word problems with you and show you kind of how these things roll. So first off, it says that we have a swim team. They're having a fundraiser. They're going to try to make at least 600. So at least means 600 or more, right? The more money we make, the better. They're going to sell candles for $5 and flowers for $6. Total cannot go above 200. It says at most 200 items they'll sell. So we don't want to go above 200. They did tell you that X is to represent candles and Y is for flowers. So that would be the first information I would pull out of this problem. All right, you need to know what your variables stand for. And these kind of problems have a very common trend to them. You notice you have money occurring 3 times. There's 3 items that are money in here. You want all your money to be in the same inequality or equation. So you want to think of it as 5 per candle. That means 5x. Also 6 for flowers, that means 6y. At least means greater or equal to 600. So you want all your money in the same equation. That's the easiest thing you could ever do for yourself. Now, if we were going to graph this, we need to get y by itself. So we're going to subtract the 5x over here. Then we have to divide every single term by 6. So we'll have a fraction and we'll have a whole number, and that's okay. So I'm just going to draw a box around that because I don't want to forget. I'm going to have to graph that line then. Now I have not used every number in the problem. There's another stipulation. It says we're not allowed to sell more than 200 items. So you take all your items, which would consist of candles and flowers, X and Y, you add them together, and you want to make sure that your answer is less than or equal to 200. So that's your other inequality. And just like before, y needs to be by himself, so that x needs to come over. Now it's negative x plus 200. That is what you want to graph. So they give you a coordinate plane here, but you notice they did not scale it for you. And if you count by ones, you're not going to get up to 200. But you don't want to count by hundreds either, because you're going to have to go down 5 and over 6. If you try to go down 5 spaces and over 6, you're going to run off the coordinate plane. So you want to play around with your numbers and see, well, what could I count by that I'm going to fit 200 on there, but I can also have enough room to do my slope. And if you count by 20s, actually, that does the job perfect. You get right up to 200, and it's going to be a nice spread out graph. So you want to go ahead and scale that, and then we're going to graph both lines. I'm going to go ahead and graph this one in red, and I'll graph the other one in black. We're going to start at 100. We're going to go down 5 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and over 6. It's underlined, so solid. All right, now that one's done. Now we're going to do the other line. We're going to start at 200. We're going to go down 1 over 1. It's going to continue that way until we get down here. So I have not done the shading yet, so it doesn't matter if you want to do it early on or later, but I have to do it now. So the idea is we need to be below the black line. So if you put your pencil on the black line and just lower it a little bit, that would be this side right here. So I'm just going to draw 1 star right here to remember it's on that side. And then for the red line, it says we have to be above. So if I put my pencil on my red line and I raise it up, that's the side that I would shade. And you want to go ahead and just shade that region. Now I know before I had asked you to give me some solutions. So for example, 80, 60 would be a solution. That's inside that shaded region. But when you have a word problem, you need to specify what does the 80 and 60 represent. 80 what? 60 what? It says right here that X is candles. So if I sold 80 candles and 60 flower arrangements, then I would meet my goal on both ends. So your word problems are going to be of that nature. You're going to basically have 2 things to set up, and then you're going to graph them, and there's going to be an intersection or a shaded region that makes everybody happy. So we'll do one more, and then that's it. I know word problems aren't the most exciting thing. This time, instead of candles and flowers, we're doing wings and hot dogs. It looks like a pack of wings is $7, hot dogs are $5. He has $40, and he needs at least 5 packs of hot dogs. So it tells you that X will stand for wings and Y will stand for dogs. All right, so the first thing, again, that I like to do is take all my money and make it into a nice pretty equation or inequality. All right, so it's 7 per wings, 7X, and 5 per dogs means 5Y. Now you have to use a little bit of your own logic here. If you only have $40, then you can't spend more than 40. You can spend 40 or less. So make sure that you have the less or equal to sign. And then you're going to go ahead and get Y by himself. So that line would be ready to graph them. So that took care of the whole money stipulation. There was another stipulation here. It says you have to have at least 5 packs of hot dogs. Well, hot dogs is represented with a Y. So you want Y to be at least means greater or equal to 5. That's the other line you're going to graph. So I'll go ahead and graph this one right here. We're going to start at 8. And we're going to go down 7, right 5. And it's underlined, so solid line. Now for this one, you notice there is no X in here, so this is going to be a special line. Y lines go horizontally, so you need to go up to 5, right here, and you need to draw a line side to side. going to make mine a little thicker because it's kind of hard to see with those thick coordinate plane lines. And now we have to do the whole shading thing. So this means we have to be above the black line. It's pretty obvious which section's above. So on this side of the black line, I'm just going to draw some circles over here. But we have to be below the red line. So again, if I put my pencil on the red line and I go under it, I'm going to be over on this side right here. So let my triangles go all the way up. You can see that this little region right here, that's where both of my shapes are, so that's what I'm going to keep. So if I wanted to name a solution in this region, I could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could do 1, 6. That's still in there, barely, but it's in there. All right, but again, when it's a word problem, you want to tell me 1 what, 6 what. So it says since X is wing packs, we have 1 pack of wings and 6 packs of hot dogs.